Allow me for today alone to be your big sister. It's good or bad. I'm just saying, for people who have found themselves in a very difficult situation, this video is for you. 15,000. And now when an emergency comes, you say you don't have 5,000. Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. I'm so happy you guys are here. So today we are going to talk about something that I've been working on. It's a 3-part series of why are people in debt, the burden of debt on your family, on your mental health, and how to get out. Okay, so today the topic of today is why are people in debt. If you see me looking at this side, I have my laptop here. I have the short notes so that I'm able to sort of express my thought process in the way that I feel will be relatable to probably most of you. Okay, so let's get into the video. Okay, so I like the kind of audience that I have on here because I feel like we are people who probably see life and we share the same values. Okay, so when I talk about money and I talk about how to just live a certain way, I feel like I have people who resonate with my values. Okay, because again, if we don't have the same values, it will be so hard for us to have a communication of back and forth, like me sharing what I think and then you guys giving me feedback on those things. Okay, so allow me for today alone to be your big sister, because I feel like when it comes to issues concerning money, I tend to preach. I don't know how to say it, like I don't know how to talk about it without seeming preachy. So today, please, I'm going to ask for permission before I even start, so that when I get to a place where I feel like, if I feel like preachy, you already forgave me before I even started. I don't know how I always feel like it's one of those things that I try to run away from, but it's like a calling. I can't just stop talking about money. Like when it comes to such things, I'm so passionate about, and I don't know how to not express it passionately. Yeah, if that's correct. Like I don't know how to talk about it just to brush it over. I passionately tend to get into the to issues concerning money. So let's get right to it. So have you forgiven? So as the topic suggests, is why are people in debt? That's the question. Have you been asking yourself? Because in most cases when I go to a different platform, I feel I always get these questions of people saying, oh, I'm in debt, I don't know how to get out of debt, you guys help me, I can't sleep, I have all these things disturbing me, like I feel like I want to give up. And at the end of the bottom line is debt. Okay, so I said let me break it into 3-part series. So today we are going to talk about why are people in debt, and these are my opinions of, these are just opinion of why I think people are in debt. Okay, so number 1 is overconsumerism. Okay, so you guys people say when people want to take debt, let me first say this, when people want to take debt or people are already in debt and the debt is sort of working for them, anything I'm going to say here, they will tend to attack me because the debt is working for them at the moment. Meaning, you've taken on debt, it is on your initial stages of debt, so you feel like, why will she say that debt is not good or whatever? I'm not saying debt is good or bad. I'm just saying, for people who have found themselves in a very difficult situation, this video is for you. Why do you think people get to that place where they're in debt? So I've said number 1 is overconsumerism. What does that mean? You have seen this in most cases where people tend to accumulate things excessively. I feel like when all these things that are on this earth were given to us by God, so there's nothing that is on this earth that was not given for you to enjoy. Okay, but even on your journey to enjoying life, I feel like people have gone out of their way to excessively enjoy or to excessively accumulate things for one reason or another. Okay, tell me, one of the things I keep saying is simplicity is a sign of maturity. Once you realize that you do not have to accumulate so much, people feel like if they accumulate accumulate so many things, then it says something about them. And I will give you an example. Just a simple example. You see these mugs for water and hot tea. I don't know, they are sort of like Stanley cups. I'm gonna try and insert a picture here. You see those mugs? How many of them do you need in your life? How many? Because you see, you can go into someone's house and find that they have like 6 or 7 of those mugs, 7 or 8 of water bottles, and they're all like, okay, so every time they see a new water bottle, they end up buying it. Okay, now it looks like a very minute thing, or it doesn't cost a lot, because a water bottle in Kenya is around, I think, 500 Kenya shillings. So you might think it's not a lot of money, because, oh, I paid 500 here, I paid 500 here. But why would you need 6 water bottles? Or why would you need 6 or 7 flasks of tea? You only carry 1, or you can have 1 or 2. Are you seeing what is the problem? The problem is not consuming. The problem is overconsumption. You want more and more and more. So what happens? So every time you keep buying and accumulating, you tend to not keep or put your money and the money that you're earning to do for you the things that it should be doing for you. Okay? So that's why you find most people, when they get into any emergency or any sort of a problem, they end up taking debt to be able to cover that emergency, or to be able to navigate that situation, because you have been busy spending money on unnecessary things that you think they don't cost a lot. But go to your house and count how many of those bottles or how much they cost. If one flask of 1,500 and you have like 6 of them or 10 of them between you and your household, you have 6 or 10. By the way, I'm not even kidding. 6 or 10 bottles of, not bottles, hot flask, and they all go for 1,500. How much is that? Able, imagine if you have 10 of those flasks, and they cost, that's 15,000. 15,000. And now when an emergency comes, you say you don't have 5,000. You see where I have a problem with? I don't have a problem with you buying what you need to buy. I have a problem with how you accumulate unnecessarily at the expense of your future self, of your future emergency. So now here comes an emergency of 5,000. You don't have 5,000. Yet you have things in your house that are just laying around because you bought 10. But guess what? You only carry 1. You like the purple one, you like the green one. You never carry the rest, because apparently we tend to gravitate towards one of the things. Like, you can buy 10 shirts, you end up only wearing 1, and you wear it until it tears. You can't even, the psychology behind it is it's just wanting. Okay, so when you say you don't have money, kindly check how much are you consuming on the unnecessary things. Things that even if you have 10 water bottles in your house and they all cost 500, my dear, that's 5,000. And you don't have, if something goes wrong and you're needed 2,000, immediately the thing that goes into your head is, how can I borrow the 2,000? Because you do not have the 2,000, but your 2,000 is laying somewhere in your house. Okay? And one of the things that I've come to realize is, especially with overconsumerism, is when people are decluttering their houses at the end of the year. Go to those people's houses and see how many things they are throwing away. They do no longer need them, or they have not used them in the last 1 year. And then see how much they have thrown their money. Like, if people never consumed so much, then we will not have this landfills. Landfills are a heap of garbage. Just go nowadays it's like everywhere, because people are buying clothes and buying clothes, and they're not even at it on. It's just because they are out of fashion, or you no longer wear those clothes. So that the reason why we have landfills today, they're called quarries. in Kenya, whatever, is because of consumerism. So before we ask why are people in debt, ask why are people consuming so much unnecessarily. Okay, that's number one. Number two, why are people in debt is because of unfulfilled needs. Let me tell you, I'm gonna talk about this until the cows come home. If that is, like, I'm gonna keep saying this. Self-awareness is the key to any like it's the to live a fulfilled life. Self-awareness, okay? Because if you check why people consume, is because they are trying to fill up a gap in their life that they do not know how to manage. Okay, so you need people to admire you, to recognize you, to applaud you, to you want people to be attracted to you because of the things that you have. So what do people end up doing? You end up buying things to fulfill those unmet needs. Because if you want to be recognized, you want to wear things that stand out so that people can say, have you seen Nani passing by? Have you seen his shoes? That's just an example. So you not working on your self-awareness to understand, I have a problem with wanting people to recognize who I am. Where did this come from? What is the root of me wanting to be acknowledged, recognized by people, by strangers? Because again, how can you want to be recognized in a way that is detriment to your future? Are we together until there? Like, that's what I'm trying to say. Work on your self-awareness. When these things crop up or they come up, you completely get it. You realize, oh, the reason why I want to buy this thing is because I feel like people are going to say, oh, I love your handbag. Oh, I love your shoe. Oh, I love this. So all of a sudden you're able to catch yourself in the moment of, no, I think I just need to sit in my uncomfort situation and work through what this means. Okay, that's number two. Number three is why people are in debt is because people are living outside their means. Okay, yani this thing, people, hey, there is no financial book that has not talked about this. There is no article about why people are in debt. They have not talked about this. It is literally the writings on the wall of why people end up in debt. Let me ask you, I'm going to give you a very simple example. When you go to the fundi is a tailor, yeah. When you go to a tailor and you probably want to make a dress, yeah, the dress, the tailor will measure you and say, I require 6 meters of this particular fabric for me to make for you that kind of a dress. Okay, so you decide that you want to take 4 meters to the fundi. Okay, how is this fundi going to accomplish that mission when you have brought 4 meters? They have measured you, they know your size, they have understood how, like, your bust area, your waistline, your hips, and they have told you, for us to accomplish this mission of making for you this dress that you want, we need 6 meters. You brought 4 meters. Where does the fundi get the 4 meters to patch up the dress? That is exactly what you're doing with your money. You require 50,000 in your household or 100,000 to manage your household, okay? But you're living a lifestyle worth 200,000. Where is the difference going to come from, my dear brothers and sisters? Where? So it means you have to end up taking the difference to be able to sustain this household. And this is a problem I have. This life that you're living is your life, is your lifestyle. It is a lifestyle that you have chosen for yourself. End up going to institution, to mobile money, to borrow the balance so that it can cover your lifestyle. Okay? So, and it's, cut your cloth Cut your coat according to your cloth, if that is the right thing to say. It is something that has been said. It is something that continuously to be said. Live within your means when you're starting off. Then, if you can reduce and live below your means, so that the difference goes to your saving, the difference goes to your emergency, the difference is going to sustain your future self. I'm not going to say anything else, because this is one of the greatest this is one of the greatest disservice humanity does to themselves. You choose this life, then you impose a life that is going to make you so stressed out, so always angry. Some of you will have retired if only you lived within your means, or even below your means. I'm telling you, you'll not even be waking up to go to that job that you don't like. If you only decided that you're going to live according to what comes into your pocket and manage that money, and then decide, I'm going to live even below that. Because guess what? Even when you live outside your means, we don't care. Do we care? We don't care. People don't care. Number 4 of why people why people are in debt, you guys, you see why when I start talking about money, I just go crazy. Number 4, lack of contentment. Okay, the Bible is very clear that godliness and contentment is great gain. The Bible is clear. When you have godliness and you have contentment, it favors you. When you just learn to live in a place where you're okay with where your life is. And let me tell you, let me remind you, and I'm going to remind you again and again, please don't confuse contentment with lack of ambition, like you don't have ambition. Having worked hard to get what you're getting, get content with that has come into your pocket. When you wake up to go look for money and you get 200, get content with that 200, because that is what you've been able to get for that particular day. If you go to work and you're paid 30,000, yeah, please manage that which has come your way through your hard work. Because the reason why people are in debt is because of lack of contentment. My dear, hey, why is the thing that used to give you joy has ceased to give you joy now? Okay? Why is the car that you are so adamant to get, and you are so happy the day you bought it, has refused to give you joy anymore? Now you want a bigger. And let me tell you this, I'm going to say this here. I'm not talking about the people who can afford comfortably to buy those things. There are people who can afford to buy 3 times of something and they just choose to buy one of the expensive thing. I'm not talking about those. I'm talking about people who are in debt and why and how they found themselves in that situation. Are we clear? You've gotten to a place where the things that used to give you joy, you have decided to shift your head here to look at what your neighbor is doing. You shift your head here, you're seeing what your sister is doing. You shift your head up, you're looking at your neighbors, what they are doing. Your head is all around. You move your head this side, this side, this. All of a sudden, the things that you have do not give you joy anymore. So you want what you have seen. You want what is the new thing in town. You want what you have seen on, I don't know where. Wherever you have seen, you have allowed it to come into, to contaminate that which was pure for you. Because initially whatever you bought was so pure, it was so nice. I love my whatever thing that you have. I love my car, I love my house. But all of a sudden something comes into you, corrupts that. So all of us, you do not want anything in that house. So you no longer appreciate, or you're not living in a place of contentment to say, I am thankful where I am. If more comes, if I'm able to make money, save money to buy, go ahead and buy it. If you save money to buy that thing that you've been wanting, please go right ahead and buy it. I have a problem when you buy with money that you do not have. Who is lending you money for free? I'm gonna say that. Number 5, availability of credit facility is what has put people in debt. Okay, You know, I think some 5-10 years ago, it was so hard for you to get into debt because we didn't have so many credit facilities available. That's Shylock, this unregulated credit facilities. Even getting money from the bank was a bit difficult. Nowadays, if your organization just goes into an MOU, memorandum of understanding, it's so easy for you to acquire debt. It's so easy for you to get money from that institution, okay? Because your payslip is able to guarantee you money. So the reason why people are taking money is because, one, imagine the bank will check your payslip and tell you how much money they can be able to give you. Even you, without going to them, they come to your organization and they look at your payslip and they say, oh, so you're earning this we can give you this amount of money. So even if you didn't want money, you take the debt because you've been told it's available. Okay? So let me say this. Take advantage of such facility to build you, to do for you something good. Okay? And when I say people who have been able to drive their life through the credit facilities, especially SACCOs and bank, not these Shylocks and whatever, because those are the beginning and the end of your life. If you pick money from these unregulated bodies, you're going to pay money and you're going to pay money through your nose. They will make sure they take everything. They're almost coming for your oxygen. They don't joke. They are here to make money, okay? Because they are unregulated, okay? So they do not have standard interest rates. So keep away from those people. If you love yourself, keep away from those people. I'm just saying, if you happen to get into a place where availability of credit facility is there, then take advantage of it, okay? That is because of comparison. I think I've mentioned this earlier. It's because you have refused to work on your goals. Let me tell you, when you know the direction of where you're going, if you left your house this morning to go to Nakuru, yeah, you know which path to follow. Can you imagine someone who is going to Nakuru and they decide to take Mombasa Road? They are headed to Namanga. That side, like they've taken Mombasa Road, they are going. Will they ever get to their destination? That's what you're doing with your money, because you need to know where you're headed. So you set goals for yourself, for where you're going, and then you take that path to your goals. Now, if your goal is to go from here to Kisumu or Nakuru, for example, yeah, and you keep shifting your eyes to the road that is going to Thika, or what comparison does is it removes you from your path of purpose and your goal, and it shifts you to someone else's goals and purpose. Because if this person has woken up and they're going to Nakuru, to Thika, so they're going to use Thika route, yeah? So because you don't know where you're going or where you're headed, you keep checking where you move your purpose and your goals, and you move to this person's. Then when they get to their destination and they stop, you don't know what to do with yourself. Why? Because you are busy following someone who was going to Thika, and you were supposed to go to Nakuru. Stop comparison, my sister and my brother. What people are doing with their money is not your business. Where people are headed is not your business. Please, if you need to take a blinder, take a blinder. Close your eyes. Even the Bible is very clear. If this is what is making you sin. Take a blinder and cover your eyes that you don't see what people are doing. Because you copying other people, comparing yourself with what your neighbor bought, which car they bought, where they live, how they do it. Now here you are crying because you were busy following John on the street you're comparing where they are going, where they're not going. Please bring back yourself to a place of a realization that your path is not my path. Your purpose is not my purpose. Where you're headed is not where I'm headed. Why are you here busy running after, comparing yourself with people? If you knew how uniquely you were created, you will just stop. Stop comparing yourself. Even if your journey takes 5 years, 10 years. it will come to fulfill, it will come to, the journey will be accomplished eventually. But in the meantime, I will advise you, take a blinder, my sister. My brother, take a blinder. Please stop comparing yourself with people. The reason why you're suffering now, and when you're suffering alone. Those people didn't even know you're comparing yourself to them. Those people did not know that because they started a degree and a master's, that's when you joined. Those people don't know the reason why you bought that car is because you saw which car they were driving, and then now you went ahead and took a loan of 3 million to buy the same car. They don't know. They don't care. They didn't, because they were not looking behind them. You were the one who was looking. You can borrow inspiration. Let me tell you, difference between borrowing aspiration. You can borrow aspiration. I aspire to do this and this, but I'm not comparing myself because my journey is different. Your journey is different. So other thing that I feel like people go into debt is because of planning for money they have not yet received. You have seen this thing in Kenya, Kwanza. I'm expecting 100,000 shillings, so I pre-spend the 100,000 shillings before the 100,000 shillings comes to my bank account. So people pre-spend. So by the time you realize that money is not gonna come into your bank account, what do? You have to go run. You borrowed money prior to getting what you thought will come to your bank account, okay? So I have had people say, I'm waiting for a deal to go through, I'm gonna get 100,000. So if you wanted something like, maybe you wanted to buy, because it's always about buying, you wanted to buy a flat screen. So you go borrow money, you say, help me with 100,000, I'm gonna buy a flat screen, and then nikipata ile pesa, I'm going to return. Then that money never shows up. And you had borrowed from your friend 100,000. So now tell us, why are you in debt unnecessarily? If you have to buy, if you're waiting for a deal to go through, wait for it until the money hits your account. Then you can go right ahead and spend. And number 9, why people are in debt is because they end up buying high-end brands. So the high-end brands, okay? So there are people who feel like, I have to have a certain brand for me to look prestige, okay? So there's a higher brand in any category. Like when it comes to flat screens or televisions, there is a higher brand that is associated with. If you see this in someone's house, it means they are, they are doing well, okay? Or if you see this person driving a certain car, that's like maybe this person is driving, the luxurious car. So it's thumbs up for that kind of thing, okay? But because now let me tell you, there are people who actually are able to buy those things because they are able to buy. Those people, we are not talking about them. We are talking about those people who want to copy or to be associated with a certain brand so that they look rich. My dear, wait until you're rich to be able to afford that thing. If you work hard, you can be able to buy it. But now you're borrowing so that you can look rich. When you're poor, you're broke. And you want to buy something that says you have money. What kind of that's a lie from the devil. That's a lie from the devil, that you have to buy a certain thing to look rich when you're broke. Is that a lie? It's a lie. It's a lie from the devil. Please, let me tell you, even those people who buy those brands so that they are recognized, I am telling you, half, if not more, of the people who see them, they appreciate. I like that car. I've always liked that car. But kudos to you. Kudos. We love you. We see you. We love that car. But tujafika huko, when we get there, we are going to buy it. But now for you to go to take debt, to come and look like that person when you're not there, who are you lying to? Us, am I you? Is it me, am I you? Who is lying to who here? Another reason why people get into debt is because of loneliness. And this one, I'm gonna say this. I completely understand why people sometimes, for example, you're a single person, you live alone, you don't have, we've come to an era where people live alone, stay alone. We don't have this social interaction as much as they used to be there, okay? So you find people, when they're just in the house chilling and they don't have anything to do, they swipe the card or they buy things online, okay? Another reason why people go into debt is because of loneliness. When you're just alone in your thoughts, and you have to fill in the loneliness with something. So people end up, you swipe the card. Some people use their credit card, and so now you're in debt because you bought online, or you borrowed from your mobile money to buy those things because you thought to refund that money. Are you seeing the mess? So it's important that you recognize when you're doing these things because of the season that you're in. It saddened my heart that we've gotten to a place where we no longer have social interactions. Everyone is kept to themselves, and so it's so easy for you to be excluded. If you're in that group, get to join these social groups. There are people who go hiking together. There are people who go for holidays together. Try and see if you can. Even when people are going through some issues in their life, they tend to spend money. That's just a human thing. Like, we tend to soothe ourselves through shopping, or through buying food, or buying whatever makes us happy during that time. Okay, so this is what I'm gonna say. Because you're no longer a child, act not like a child. And when you're no longer a child, you learn how to regulate your emotions. Okay, so in the process of learning your financial literacy, learn how to regulate your emotions, because it plays a huge role in how you manage your money. Okay, so, and I'm saying this in the best way possible. Learn to sit with your emotions and regulate your emotions, how you feel. If you're feeling happy, and that's why when people get paid at the end of the month, they are so happy. They spend, they swipe, they buy, because they do not know how to handle such emotions, happy emotions. And there are people, and when they don't have money, like, you can see the difference when they have money and they don't have money. And there are people who wait upon getting money to just go and spend it. Like, they can't wait for the money to get into their bank account, and they go and spend that money. Okay, so because we are grown up, let's act like grown up. Please work on your emotion regulation to be able to fight these urges and to be able to sustain your financial situation. Okay.